Hey Geminis, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be taking a look at your first half of August, general reading here. So, in your meditation, short but sweet and actually really interesting. So, I saw the image of a shark and I saw it swimming in the ocean, as sharks do. And initially, it was covered in a sort of armor. It was sort of like an armored shark. And I saw it swimming and I saw it dive way, way, way deep into the ocean. And then I saw it sort of shoot upwards and transform. Like in the middle of going down and then coming upward, it transformed into a dolphin. And then it jumped out of the sea, and I saw that transition from shark to dolphin, which is really, really interesting, and I feel like very auspicious. So shark energy equates to that of the devil in the tarot, which is about our shadow sides and about fear, self-imposed limitations. The medicine of the shark says abundance lies on the other side of fear, right? So it's those aspects of ourselves that can really hold ourselves back through fear, indecision, lack perspective, all of that, right? The dolphin could not be more opposite in its energy. It's an Ace of Cups. We go from the devil transforming into the Ace of Cups, which is about love, abundance, happiness, intuitive insights, just feeling the real joy and pleasure of life. And that's dolphin medicine. It's sort of a hybrid, actually, between an Ace of Cups and a Six of Cups, right? Six of Cups in the sense that it really enables us to live in the present moment like a child would, right? And really appreciating everything that you have going on and really feeling the full extent of your gratitude, right? And then the Ace of Cups, where it's just like really just like your cup is so full, you are overflowing with joy and love and peace. So the fact that I see this transition from shark and a dolphin, that is just, it's really exciting, very auspicious. Let's go ahead and see what your cards say. Hey Gemini, let's go ahead and see what your animal energy is for the first half of August. Animal energy for Gemini. First half. Ooh, very good. Okay. Nightingale. This is not one of those animal energies that comes up that often, but when it does, it's always nice to see. So, first of all, if you know me at all, you know that when we get an animal that is of our like element, that is always a warm glow being cast over the reading. It's always very auspicious. So, as you guys are air signs and you're getting a nightingale, which is air energy here, really, really beautiful. So, this is really interesting. The nightingale equates to that of the Queen of Swords in the tarot, right? Queen of Swords, you and your feminine element is all about, it's about making those decisions from a place of reason, right? And not emotion. It's about making maybe even some difficult choices or hard decisions as it equates to using your voice, right? Speaking up about things that maybe aren't fair, or speaking up for yourself. But also, this is about editing. It's about your editing system, right? Making those cuts where needed. A little bit more of this, a lot more of this. I'm hearing the word optimization. I'm stumbling over it, but optimization, right? Like, how can I optimize my experience, right? What's really interesting here is that, first of all, this nightingale is sitting on the moon. We have the full moon in Aquarius on August 12th, right? So that's your sister air sign, right? So I love that that's coming in here for you, right? Aquarius energy is all about innovation, outside of the box thinking, and communication, same as you, right? With the nightingale here and the communication being a Gemini. So with the shark transitioning into the dolphin, I feel like the key to your transition from any fear-based energy, from any self-perceived limitations, or even too much of a focus, because the devil energy, which is shark, is also about the material things. It's almost like an over-focus on the material things, right? Looking at things and going and limiting yourself by only focusing on what's in front of you or what is, reasonable, right? What is probable, what is practical even, right? So going from that shark into that dolphin says, your key to that, if you want to transition from that shark into the dolphin, right? Which one sounds better? I think the dolphin, right? The key is that is to embrace your Queen of Swords aspect and say, let me make some edits and cuts. Maybe with how you see things, maybe with your own inner monologues, maybe with how and where you spend time. Maybe the key is really taking on that Aquarian energy of the full moon this month and saying, you know what? Let me think outside of the box. Let me think creatively, right? How can I view my situation or my own potential, right, through the lens of expansion and innovation? That feels incredibly important for you. That is going to transition you. Edits, discernment, and using your voice are the key from you transitioning from a shark to a dolphin. I feel like is what it is. Let's go ahead and see what's going on, Gemini. Let's see what's going on. Thing is, Queen of Swords, when you do it right, it can be a bit scary to use your voice or speak up for yourself or make some edits. Whether it's, within for yourself, we got a Queen of Swords ourselves sometimes, or others, it's always feels good after. Always feels good after, right? I'm so here for this. So 10 of Pentacles coming in for you. This is wonderful and it makes a lot of sense. So Earth energy here, 10 of Pentacles is very much about long-term thinking, long-term financial planning, and really about the family unit, but it's about imagining where you and or your loved ones are going to be moving forward, right? This is about what legacy am I leaving behind? How do I want to leave my piece of the earth better than how I found it, right? Now look at this here. It's really, really beautiful, and it's really good timing too, because we are in Lammas season now with the wheel turning, right? Which is all about really embracing everything about the sun, right? It's about really almost worshiping the sun as it is before we begin the movement into the dark time of the year at the autumnal equinox next month. So it's like, let's just worship the light and really enjoy it because it's going to start receding, right? So it's kind of like one last hurrah, right? Before we got to get serious and start making plans to get us through the, the dark time of year. So it's interesting with this 10 of Pentacles here showing up for you because we're also moving into the autumn time past this month. There's something about preparation that's coming through with this. You are planning and thinking and preparing. This makes a lot of sense with the Queen of Swords, the Nightingale influence here, because I feel like this is why you're doing it. Right? There's something about how can I optimize my situation? How can I make some changes in thinking about the long term or where I want to be? You're coming up out of going to the devil energy also says, like, let's look at it this way. The light side of dolphin energy is about being in the moment and embracing the moment. A shadow aspect of the devil energy says tomorrow isn't promised, so just get through today. Do you see how the light and dark side of something with that? It's very Gemini as well, because you guys, are the twins. You're able to look at both sides of something, right? So I feel like that's commenting on that in a very particular way. And I feel like you are leaning more into the proactive energy of this under the influence of the full moon in Aquarius. And I feel like it's working for you. I feel like it's working for you. It's like, you know what? I'm really going to start thinking about things differently. I'm going to start, considering the future, considering my legacy, considering what I want a family unit to look like, considering what I want my own personal abundance to look like, right? And doing so from a place of gratitude and then also expectation of good things, right? It's like that saying, expect good things and good things will come. That's what it feels like. Expect good things, right? Because you're looking to the future as like, yeah, I can see it all coming together. I can see all this abundance. I can see the time to like stop and, pet the puppy and to just be, I feel like this is you. I feel like of all these people at this banquet, this is you, Gemini. This lady here watching these kids pet this little pup, right? Which is why I feel like it's a perspective shift as well, which feels really important to say with going from the shark to the dolphin. You are undergoing a real perspective shift. And I feel like that in itself is empowering you to use your voice and make some changes. Why am I hearing advocate for yourself? I feel like there's something about that, advocating for yourself and really stepping into a more active, but I mean this in the best way, more dominant energy. It's like you're shifting into even a more masculine energy in a way. It feels just right. Right. So here we have death here, and this is a house like, being for sale sign, shifting and transitioning. This is really interesting because death is Scorpio energy, right? And remember I said I felt like we were looking at the autumn, and that what you're doing now is transitioning towards longer term thinking, but there is this glow of like, being here now and then thinking about what comes next. It's interesting with this Scorpio energy coming up. Now, traditionally, death is about endings that make way for new beginnings. And that is exactly what we're talking about. Going from that shark into that dolphin energy. I do feel like there are going to be some decisions that need to be made. With this for sale sign here, it might even be a little bit bittersweet. Some of these decisions or some of these moments of realization, again, it's kind of this Queen of Swords energy too, where it may be a bit foreboding, it may be a bit uncomfortable, it may be a bit challenging in some way, shape, or form. Some of these edits, changes, realizations, or advocating for yourself in whatever way, shape, or form, or for others even. But once it's done, once you've made the full transition, it feels good. It feels like renewal, because that's another aspect of death, is the renewal that comes as a result of things ending. And that's the thing. What do they say? The only constant, whoever they is, the only constant in life is change. And there's something about, what if we were able to empower ourselves to embrace it and not fear it? What might that look like? What might that look like? You're doing something differently. You are. You're doing something differently. You're going about something differently, and it's yielding different results. You're doing different things, so you're getting different results. That's what I'm getting. This is what Oh, wow. Chariot. Hello. Wow. You got a couple major arcanas here back to back. Interesting. So, Chariot, this is this is victory, success, Cancer energy here. Victory, success, balanced forward movement, achievement. This is the car is going. It's interesting, all of the yellow here. I've been channeling the sun a lot lately. And I feel it in these readings, and it's interesting because I'm filming this on Lammas on August 1st, which is the time of the sun. So it's interesting here that it's really affecting everything, but it's really, really beautiful. It feels innately positive, especially with that full moon in Aquarius influence coming up here. There is this aspect of like, that question of like, what is possible, right? What might be possible? And then allowing ourselves to dream, allowing ourselves to conceive of possibilities that maybe we weren't able to before because of limited thinking. Okay? But this is forward movement ahead. Like I said, victory, success, achievement, things moving forward. Look how this is storyboarding. Shifting your perspective, considering the long term, considering the bigger picture, right? Which leads to endings and maybe some, difficult decisions that make way for new beginnings, which puts you right in this car, moving forward, feeling good, victory, success, and excitement for what's to come, right? It's really lovely, Gemini. It's really, really, I can feel it. So you're doing things, there's something different about what's going on. You're doing things differently, or you're taking action around things in a way you haven't before. It feels really, really good. Okay, let's go ahead and get some advice, shall we? Some advice for Gemini. Oh, beautiful. So here for it. Ooh, look around the bottom of this deck. Look, Beltane, number 6, the Lovers. Really beautiful. Okay. Wow, so your advice is the Mother of Fire, aka the Queen of Wands. I love this. So, Queen of Wands, when she comes up as your advice, you are being encouraged to really connect in with your confidence, your sense of purpose, and your leadership skills, right? You are being called to really harness your inner fire and really go forward knowing that you are capable of things that you can only even imagine outside of your, limited thinking. Again, it's that transition from the shark to the dolphin, right? I feel like there's an aspect of this Queen of Wands that says like, how am I to even know what I'm capable of yet? right? It's kind of like cutting yourself off from any kind of thinking that goes like, oh, well, I'd just be happy to get out of this unscathed, or I'd just be happy for this to be over. I'd just be happy to at least do that. It's like, no, let me reconsider what is possible and then live in that question. It's like manifesting in a way, is what I'm getting. It's like if you manifest from a place of everything you've known before, you'll manifest what you've had before. But if you manifest from a place of openness, right? Keeping those options open, really expanding your mind to like, you know what? Let me just open this up a little bit and say, like, I want to manifest, I want to create a reality that is better than what has been and that leads to my own happiness. Leave it a little bit open is what I'm hearing, because I feel like there are going to be some opportunities, some ideas or potentials that come to you, right? That you can only really take advantage of and recognize, by the way, if you open it up a bit, if you expand your mind, if you shift your way of thinking and go, let me just like expand my view a little bit. It feels like you're being called to expand your vision, but absolutely stay connected to your seat of confidence and power with this Queen of Wands. Now, she is also, interestingly enough, the Queen of the Home and the Hearth, which is showing up here all throughout your reading. You have the Ten of Pentacles here, right, which is about ancestry and generations and physical abundance. There's a house here in the background. And then you have the Death Key here with 2 houses, right, for sale. And then you have Cancer energy here with the Chariot, which is the sign of the home and the hearth. So there is something that is directly affecting either how you live, where you live, or your family unit in some way, shape, or form. It feels like that is definitely affecting you during this time. It feels like shifts, it feels like transitions, but it also feels like as long as you stay connected to your inner sense of power and confidence and purpose, that's literally all you need. Again, with the influence of the Queen of Swords, you are finding your voice and your personal point of authority. That feels incredibly important to say. Let's go ahead and get an oracle. I'm feeling like this one. Let's see. You know, another note about the full moon in Aquarius and how it could, benefit you around this energy is that, Aquarians have a way of wording things and seeing things that has a surprise element. And I feel like there's something coming in for you around that. Be open to the twists and turns and surprises that come up during this time, because I feel like these are surprises and happy twists of fate that are going to work in your favor. It feels really important to say there's something about that. Let's get an oracle. Oh, I love it. The Spirit Whisperer, divine guidance, higher knowing. This is so perfect. Divine guidance, higher knowing. I was just saying, it's about being open to those surprises and that knowledge where you're going, let me do something differently and get different results. Let me expand and leave it open. Let me just open the door to my way of thinking or what I think is possible, right? Let me not limit myself. Let me keep it open. And in doing so, manifest and achieve and realize more than I have before, but also in a different way than I have before. Divine guidance, higher knowing. This owl here is really brilliant because the owl represents intuition, right? I do feel like there is an aspect of this that says some of these points of inspiration and the way that you're thinking, I feel like it's directly related to either your dream time or your down moment. So I would, more than ever, I feel like I always am an advocate of taking time to meditate or be still, but I am hearing for you, Gemini, during this time, it would be such a missed opportunity not to take time in stillness, because that is when these sources of inspiration are going to come through to you. These ideas, I feel like I see an image of you guys just taking a moment for downtime, and in doing so, getting an idea about what to say, how to say something, or an idea around something to do with communication, reaching out to someone, putting yourself up for a certain job, knowing just you've been questioning what to say or how to move around something, and then the answer just comes through as clear as day. But I want to see it like as clearly as the night sky, because we have this like moon influence here with the nightingale, right? And then the full moon. There's something about that. The inspiration comes to you, and I feel like it's so, the best part about that is when you're not overthinking something, but you're just receiving that knowledge, the confidence, back to the Queen of Wands, the confidence that you're filled with around taking action around it is like nothing else. And that's the difference between overthinking something and coming from your head. If you have a choice to make or a decision to make, and you're going back and forth and waffling on it, it's sometimes an indicator that maybe it's not the best route. And think about that. When are the times that you've really waffled back and forth on something, right? Versus you've just known what you need to do and done it. What times have you asked for a lot of other people's opinions about what you should do versus when you didn't ask anybody their opinion because you just knew? You knew what to do. It's the difference between like the wondering and the waffling and the knowing and the acting. And that feels like what you are aligning with during this time. It's the knowing and the acting. It's that just knowing in your bones exactly what to say or what moves to make or what to advocate for or what offer to take. There's something about that. There's a deep-seated knowing that you have access to. And the Queen of Wands is coming in here to say, once that happens, go forward with confidence because that is it. That is the ticket, right? I think that the worst thing that you could possibly do during this time is overthink things, right? It's about approaching things from a place of calculated knowing, right? And inspired action. And it feels really, really good for you. Again, going from that shark to the dolphin. There's something about that. And that's your transition point. Queen of Swords is what gets you from the shark to the dolphin energy. It feels very precise. And it feels very effective. There's something about this. It's like energy effectiveness. But with this Spirit Whisper, with divine guidance and the higher knowing, especially with the number 3, I feel like we're looking at a blueprint where your life goes from looking one way to looking a very different way. And it's a transition point. Long-term thinking, right? Bigger picture leads to maybe some tough choices and endings that make way for new beginnings and allow you to move forward down that road. Right? It's really beautiful how it's storyboarding here, and it feels incredibly auspicious for you. Again, making time for stillness and downtime to receive those points of inspiration, right? These ideas are going to come to you, whether through dream time or the down moments, but they are going to come. It's just about you being open to them, right? And then taking action. And it's really beautiful, Gemini. So I'm sending you so many blessings for your first half of August. I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, please do let me know in the comments below because I love reading your comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would so appreciate that. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, and most of all, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.